Loki, the god of mischief. Ever since the start of the Avengers, he was considered a villain. Now, though, not so much. Don't you wonder why Loki is so well liked and appreciated even though his schemes are evil? And the best part is that you don't need to learn interdimensional magic to do it. Here's how Loki's villainous schemes can help you in your life, all with the added benefit of using these schemes for something not so villainous. There's going to be a few steps to this process, so pay attention. Perhaps by the end of this video, you might end up a trickster yourself. Number 1. Planning. Ever notice all of Loki's schemes require planning? Well, to think like Loki and pull off dashing schemes, be sure to think ahead. Do not get impatient. Loki always waits patiently for his plans to become a reality. Slow down and think of every possible obstacle to overcome. Research every aspect of your future plans and make sure to plan all the way to the end. This is really important. So start with steps. Start with what are you going to do first and end with what are you going to do last. This way you organize yourself and make your life, well, a lot easier. Think of Loki's escape from the helicarrier while turning Hulk against the Avengers. Loki saw an opportunity and planned ahead. Try creating a calendar and planning out your day. Make sure to write down your plans so you don't forget it. Some of us don't have God memory after all. Step 2. Have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. In these situations, you must account for all the possibilities. Think of a plan B, C, D. Once again, your main focus should always be plan A, and you should always reserve your alternative plans for when you need it. After all, that is why they are called backup plans. So, think of your plans as tight guidelines for what you're going to do. However, if there is no change in the situations described in your plan, follow your plan to the letter. Someone that is always prepared is someone who shouldn't be messed with. Well, that sounded a little evil. I think I'm learning too much from Loki. Step 3. Review your plans and backup plans. Do you ever wonder why Loki talks so much? He is stalling to review his plan in his head over and over so that it works well. Review everything you wrote in your plan about 2 times to make sure your plans don't contain any flaws. Review is important. Your master plan won't be so masterful if you forget or pass by steps that are necessary for your success. Number 4. Execution. Now that you've planned all the way to the end, I hope, make sure to execute on your plan and be ready to be flexible so that you can adapt to the given situation. A plan doesn't go right 100% of the time anyways. Perform each step in accordance to the situation, not necessarily the plan. Remember, Loki is always ready to execute his plan at a moment's notice. When he sees an opportunity, he takes it. But for that, you need to have an open mind. A little contradictory, don't you think? Well, actually, it's meant to be this way, which brings me to step 5. Be unpredictable. One of Loki's special traits is his unpredictability. If you're predictable with your plans may be foiled. Think of the last thing someone would think about doing. Imagine all the toilet prison escapes out there. I mean, how do those guys do it? Think of something unpredictable and ask yourself, does this meet my goal? If so, try it. In reality, number 5 should be used according to the situation, because you don't have to be unpredictable unless your plan directly involves people. Number 6, do it with style. Loki always talks about his victory. He continually talks about how he won and how others lost to his cunning mind. Celebrate your victories. If you don't recognize what you did right, how are you going to know what went wrong and how to improve it? As cheesy it seems, it helps. I mean, just look at professional soccer players. After each goal, everyone screams like lunatics and celebrate the small victory. Goal! Imagine if everyone just said nothing with each victory. Would soccer be fun? Of course not. That's why Loki always talks about his victories. Well, he more brags, but you can just celebrate without bragging, of course. 7. If you lose or fail, just try it again. In Loki's series, he is quite literally even destined to fail, just so the Avengers can become stronger. Don't give up. Loki also loses with style and moves on to the next plan. That's what makes him so great. Most entrepreneurs who become rich later on have something that Loki also has. They continue on with what works and they get rid of what doesn't work. I'm not just talking about positive thinking here. I'm talking about learning from your mistakes. When you accept you made a mistake and correct it while losing with style, you already have Loki's strongest trait: resilience. Now let's move on to some examples. If you would like to date and search for a partner, apply the same steps. In dating, there are always a few situations and storylines you can come up with. That is where step 1, planning, comes in combination with step 2, have a backup plan. After you plan and make backup plans of what things you are going to say or do, move on to the next step. Step 3, review your plans. For this step, you can literally just take action first and review each encounter in your head, determining what went wrong or right. Moving on to step 4, execution. You should avoid hesitating when making a move or making conversation in general. To become a smooth trickster, you have to learn over time to be that way. It's not inherited. Moving on to step 5, learn to be unpredictable. When using this tactic in the situation, your strategy should be to make yourself mysterious, not avoid all of his or her questions. Switch from being funny, serious, and caring, and mix it all into a mysterious mixture of your personality. Then on to step 6. Make sure to do it with style. Have fun and remember to celebrate little victories as you start off. Then finally, step 7. If you lose or fail, just try it again. That's pretty self-explanatory, but you get the point. People always say be yourself, but personally, I just think you should be more like Loki and mix that in with your personality. Always have a part of yourself still there with your wants and interests, but it's not a bad thing to take inspiration from your heroes, or in this case, villains. For every person that rejects you, practice how to be rejected with elegance and style instead of feeling down on yourself. Celebrate your road to improvement. Either way, you should probably not include the awkwardness of Loki when falling in love, but that just comes naturally. So, like I said, learn and don't feel bad about your mistakes. Follow these steps and you'll be good. You'll be able to apply this in all parts of your life. I hope these tips have helped you out. Now hit the like button on this video and subscribe down below. Let me know how you like to apply these tips in real life. Like my channel, turn on the notification bell down below to learn more tips on how to become the version of yourself you've always wanted to be and come up on top over the competition. I'm starting myself, so I guess we'll go there together.